Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Steel Donut Collective. My name is Connor, and with me today is Blake.
Hello, everybody.
And once again, a special guest, Big Mac from the Nerd Rage Network.
Big Mac.
How's it going, people?
Yeah.
So make sure you go check out his channel if you like him here. And of course, you'll like him here because he's awesome. Go check out Nerd Rage Network. It is great.
Yes.
There's lots of nerds, lots of raging. There's even a network or two. Pretty swag.
Associated channels. We'll have links in the description, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Check him out. And we'll be collaborating with him on his channel soon as well.
So keep a look
this
out there.
story is called But I'm Just a Regular Guy. Scotland and Witches and Bears. Oh my.
Oh, kill me.
By the Boblinator. And
Bob.
basically,
Not Bob. Just
Bob,
a disclaimer.
Boblinator, yeah. If I can describe the story in one sentence, it is that, well, if you've been watching Angst Much, you'll know the main character of that, Drax. Now imagine, in an alternate universe, the same smarmy motherfucker fell into Brave instead of My Little Pony. And, well, yeah. That's basically it. So, Big Mac, you want to give us the description of the story?
Alrighty. So, after falling asleep in an alleyway, which is a normal occurrence for me, I wake up in Scotland, and
Jesus.
and in the past, no less. Now I'm dealing with a royal family while I'm poor, a crazy wood-carving witch, and magical bears. All of this while knowing that I can never get with the princess, since she's out of my league, and she doesn't want to marry anyone. My life sucks. ...
Might as well as go drink some Castillo Gold.
Yeah.
Some Scottish rum.
Maybe as you're falling through the alternate universes, you and the other Draxes can meet up and have a big drinking party.
And I'm going to make a controversial statement here, but I'm pretty sure Brave isn't a historical movie. It doesn't take place in the past.
Yeah, no, dude, it was based on a true story.
Yeah. When some princess's mom turned into a bear.
Yeah, they adapted it from a diary they found. It's just like Anne Frank.
Yeah, I've seen weirder shit before.
All right.
So chapter 1 of 1, I get a one-way ticket to Scotland.
Yes. Author's note part 1. All right, guys, so this idea was given to me by one of my newer readers, Spartan626. And
nice
I have to say,
Halo XX Halo fan XX.
I have to say, his idea is one of the best ones that I've ever heard.
You haven't heard any ideas, sir.
Write a smarmy self-insert, yeah.
Great idea.
I'll get to what it is at a later date, but as you can tell from the title, this story is just the beginning.
It is. It doesn't continue. It's only on chapter 1. It is literally just the beginning.
Yeah, it's the world's longest MTSU.
Yeah.
Now, since I've teased you about the future, I guess that I should tell you what's happening in this story. Much like all my other stories, it has the plot of teen without parents gets thrown into another dimension and/or time frame through accidental means. That's so sad.
So
That's the only type of story you write?
So, so it's a garbage story, and all your other stories are garbage too.
Oh yeah,
Are you sure that this isn't actually Drax in like a wig or something?
It really could be.
Yeah, it could be. It could be his alt account.
His alt account, the Boblinator.
The Boblinator. But is it actually accidental? Well, you'll just have to read to find out. Yes, I've changed into an evil writer who teases my readers endlessly. A bit of a change since when I first started writing, isn't it?
When I was a good writer who gave my readers what they wanted.
Yeah, when I was a good writer who didn't have to talk to their readers for paragraphs upon paragraphs.
Who didn't write all my stories with an awful plot of teen without parents gets thrown into another dimension and or time frame through accidental means.
Literally all of your stories are like that? Dude, come on.
Guys, the creativity of like an empty hermit shell crab.
Yeah.
It's more like a disclaimer, really. It's just like, by the way, these stories all have the same garbage plot.
Yeah, if you've
like
seen one, you've seen them all. I was actually looking around for fanfiction authors to not read. Thank you for advertising yourself.
Well, check one off.
All right.
Check it off.
So, let's begin the story. And let's get to the very familiar voice that I love so much. You know those times that you don't have anything on your mind and you just randomly wonder, who am I? And I don't mean the kind where you answer yourself with your name, who you're related to, and what you do during your life. Not one, not three, Jesus, this might be a long account.
God! It's Drax!
It's fucking Drax, dude. It's fucking Drax.
Not one,
again.
not three!
You remember when he said that he turned into basically like the buff bald black guy, but suddenly had hair for no reason?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like he developed like the split personality, and this is like him in his other form writing this as another person.
I'll be looking out for him turning into Dan from WL, yeah. No, I mean the times where you actually wonder, who am I? As in, why am I here in the universe?
No, I've never wondered that.
Take me, for example. The name's Michael Daniels.
Yeah, that's not generic at all.
Yeah. Now...
My name is John Mann.
Yeah. Now, one look at me, and you'd probably just look away and continue on with your day. Why?
Because you're chasing me down the street and you're creepy as fuck.
Run away.
Because I don't really stand out in the crowd, except for my ruined appearance.
Yep, it's Drax.
Ruined?
Yeah. Far too many nights of watching Brave videos.
And drinking myself into a stupor.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, he doesn't do yay. Darn it. Living in the alleyways, not able to afford my own food, so I'm forced to steal. Your typical everyday street rat. However, unlike some of the others, I'm... Wow, he went to italicize something that was already italicized and turned it normal.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm not the kind that would mug someone the first chance I get in order to get money or jewelry or anything. Fuck, it's just like Drax. Don't worry, I'm a gentleman, I'm not gonna rape you. Don't worry, I'm a gentleman, I'm not gonna mug you.
Oh, my goodness.
Heck, I've helped people who were being mugged before. But I digress.
Yeah, now he's like the fucking like avenging hobo.
Yeah.
Hobo without a shotgun.
Hobo without it, yeah. Anyways, my life is pretty normal as far as life for street rats go. Sleep, steal to survive, and always try to stay away from the cops so that you aren't thrown into an orphanage. How old are you, dude?
This guy's probably 42 as well.
I'm 42, my beard is down to my ass, and I think that I deserve to be in an orphanage.
13 going on 42.
Uh-huh.
I went to his profile and he claims to be 19, so guess what? That's legally an adult. You wouldn't be thrown in an orphanage.
No, you'd just be thrown back exactly where you just were.
Back in the alley.
The cops pick him up in the squad car and then just drop him back in the alley.
And then just like pile drive him back into the alley.
Yeah. We've looked up his name. What do we do with him? He's in our database. What do we do? Oh, we just put him back?
Yeah.
Oh, alright, sure.
Catch and release.
Catch and release at the same exact location.
Catch and release cops. they arrest people and they're like, haha, now you can go. That's awesome.
Yeah. Though with what's happening to me right now, I almost wish that I'd let the cops catch me all those times I managed to elude them.
I'm so cool, I managed to elude those cops.
Did you really elude them, or did he just put you back?
Yeah.
Did they just give up?
Yeah.
He's not worth it.
I've never been to jail, but I have been in the back of a squad car for about 5 seconds before they opened the door again and just drove off. So even though that was Michael speaking, now it's Michael's POV. You've got to be fucking kidding me! I muttered to myself as I wander around the area I'd found myself in. Now, usually when you go to sleep in a cardboard box, you expect to wake up in the box.
This time I was the box.
How sad. At least Drax had a bed.
I've slept in this box so much I've become fused to it.
Yeah. The company may have changed, and there may be someone standing near you who mugs people, kills people, or rapes people, but nonetheless, you should wake up in the box.
I'm a gentleman. I don't do any of those things.
Yeah, I just shit-talk everyone else. But no, instead, I woke up in some clearing, surrounded by different shaped rocks, which had a forest surrounding that as well. I'd be surprised if they were all the same shaped rocks.
I'd be surprised if there were a big bunch of noticeable rocks in an alleyway.
What is this? You wake up in a box and you're used to rocks all looking the same shape. What is this, Minecraft?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he's used
it's
to
a
living
rock that
in a
I call
Minecraft alley.
just another building in society.
Yeah, Michael. His name's Herobrine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to break through the glass ceiling when it's made of bedrock.
Wow. Now, the only good thing is that had happened to me was that kept my clothes as well as my other small possessions. What the fuck
Wait a
was
minute.
that?
Is that had happened to me? Was that kept my clothes?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. They played word swap, okay?
It's like he rewrote that sentence 5 times, but left most of the first 4 versions.
Yeah. He started
So
writing.
all these conjunctions and such are just
He started
stuck there,
writing,
stranded.
just trailed off, got back to it, trailed off again.
It's incredible.
Yeah. That means that I'm still wearing my worn-out black combat boots, go figure.
Oh god. OC alert.
Faded blue jeans that had tears in them, go figure. My black t-shirt, which had a few tears and had splotches of dirt, but was covered by the dark green hoodie, which was identical in appearance to a black t-shirt. What do you mean?
It's black
Dark
and
green hoodie, black t-shirt, they're not identical in appearance.
I don't think that this person knows how clothes work.
And the silver wristwatch on my right arm, which still works.
The homeless people are known for their silver.
I never rob anybody, but I have like spotless silver jewelry all over me, and I
Their
don't live
silver
anywhere.
accoutrements. Like what?
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, and OC has to have either Converse or combat boots.
Yes.
The only shoes that you wear if you're an OC.
Yes. As for my appearance, I had to hold my watch just right, but was relieved by what I saw. I still had my Caucasian skin.
Racist.
Oh.
Black hair.
Thank goodness I didn't turn into a black guy.
Do you wake up different races every day? Is it just like you go to bed thinking, am I going to be like Hawaiian tomorrow? Just like, am I going to wake up Spanish tomorrow? What am I going to be next week?
Yeah. He can wake up in whatever universe he wants to, but as long, or he doesn't want to, but as long as he's white, it's like, okay.
I'll live anywhere in any way I want to, but as long as I'm white, you won't find a problem with me.
Yeah. Black hair that was always flying all over the place, as well as...
Hey, get back here! Get back here! Get back here! Oh, God!
As well as my cobalt eyes.
Like his hair just like flies up and like gets caught in a tree. He has to go get it down.
He constantly looks like the wind's blowing it, even when he's indoors.
Because it's just going nuts. It's sentient.
I let out a sigh at this, before lowering my arm and looking around the area that I'm currently standing in. Alright, obviously I'm not in the city then, I mutter as I walk over to one of the rocks and notice that there are shapes etched into them. I run my fingers over them, confusion filling me.
Huh, these are strange Celtic runes inscribed in a circle.
Yeah. Oh god.
They look like kindergarten Scottish drawings.
Yeah, somewhere between kindergarten drawings and expertly drawn stuff.
Yeah.
The whole gamut, you could say. Huh. You'd think that if these things were out in the open, some museum would send people to pick them up to look them over so that they could tell what they were, as well as put them on display for the public. What a bad sentence.
Oh, God.
I think out loud, realizing...
I like, people will do that, voice their thoughts aloud. Most of the time it's like, this is cool. Most of the time people don't think really long, convoluted sentences out loud.
Especially about some, like, symbols they don't even describe what they look like. For all we know, it could be just like a dick drawn on a rock somewhere.
They're like, I should really get a new car. Maybe one 2002, used. I'd prefer a Cobalt. Maybe just a coupe. I don't really need the sedan because I'm, a single guy. And just, imagine hearing someone rattle off a full car search when looking at their car. I mean...
Well,
nuts.
I'm surprised that he didn't go, well, damn, either I'm having the best fucking dream ever,
Yeah. Oh, man. Go watch Angst Much before you watch this.
I think out loud, realizing in the back of my mind that I don't recognize some of the words that were etched onto the rock beneath the other shapes that looked like drawings, but I do recognize some of the other words. Like, I feel like that's a bigger thing.
Look at those funny little markings under the picture. We call them words.
Antiquated. How obsolete.
Writing
In the
with
future,
actual
we all just
materials.
use telepathy. I continue to look at the rocks for a few minutes, because I'm an interesting character, before snapping out of it and looking around the area some more, hoping to find something that would tell me how it is that I got from the cardboard box I was sleeping in to a clearing in a forest who knows how far away. Period.
Well, you think you spent your whole life sleeping in a cardboard box. You think you'd be happy to be somewhere else.
The rocks started crying. I watched for 58 minutes. Oh, sorry.
I settled into my routine.
This isn't creepypasta. This
you
is
probably
fanfiction.
don't literally mean minutes, dude. That or like you have reverse ADD. You focus on something like minuscule and you just keep your focus on it for like way too long. Damn it. If this turns out to be like something out of The Maze Runner and I've been dropped off here to survive,
Really?
I'm a bitch.
You reference
God.
something as niche as that rather than just like the Hunger Games that it's all just ripped off of?
God. I can't tell if this guy's dialogue is better than Drax's or not.
That's pretty much just his version of the friggin' Lochnar.
Yeah.
This is like Drax if he was a hipster.
Yeah.
I mutter to myself, something that I seem to be doing quite a bit ever since I woke up. I let out a frustrated sigh before I opt to just sit against one of the rocks and wait for a little to see if anyone showed up. I have agency.
Oh, sure.
While I do this, I take out one of the two things that are most important to me.
My penis. Oh.
My dagger.
Yeah, well,
AKA
close.
Same thing. Same thing, yeah.
Same thing. Now, there are two reasons this is important to me. The first, is because it's one of the only things I have left from my parents.
Their precious dagger.
Yeah. The second, is because it's one of the two knives that I've been able to keep on me in my time as a street rat. Granted, that's because it's my parents, but still.
Yeah, people are like, oh, we were going to steal that knife from you, but your parents, man, that's tough. You keep it.
Yeah.
You're still going to have to give us your money or we're going to kill you.
Yeah, that's a family heirloom. Keep that. Keep your silver watch, man. You live in a cardboard box. I feel sorry, bro. The reason for this is because the two are the only ones that I didn't make. What? So all the knives that you made, you'd lose? Oh wait, he's about to explain. All the others I make out of materials I found on the street, and treat them like shanks and throwing knives. If you don't want to lose your knives, stop throwing them. You're telling me that the only two knives you've been able to keep, are the ones that you haven't thrown at someone.
Gee, I wonder if it leaves my hand if I'm not going to have it anymore.
Yeah. Needless to say, they've all gotten me out of tight spots in the past, and I still have a few slung through my belt.
Then you still have them.
That sounds pretty dangerous.
How many knives? So he has two knives that he's always had on him, but he has a few other knives.
Alright, so these makeshift knives that you've, fabricated, do you create like little holsters for them, or do you just have sharp pointy knives sticking through your belt all the time?
It's like when you
jabbing in the leg?
when you see a belt of ammo, it's like one of those, but it's got knives.
Why is there some kind of like commando hobo running around? Like
Commando.
It's like all those 80s action movies where it's like, I once was a Black Ops, Spec Ops, Vietnam vet, but now I'm just a homeless person. But I've been pulled into action once more. It's like, totally, dude, you're like some deadly trained killer, but you're just a hobo living on the street in a cardboard box.
the dude you train with and bully.
Yeah, totally, dude, yeah. If you haven't heard enough about these guys' knives, let him go more into detail. Now, my parents' dagger isn't like the normal kind where it's simply a handle and blade.
It's also got a microwave and a toaster.
It's got Bluetooth.
It's a Swiss Army dagger. It's got a corkscrew on the other end, bottle opener. That's helped me out a few times in the past when I just wanted to drink a 40 ounce of hooch.
It's got Bluetooth and everything, and I can like call people.
Yeah.
I use a bottle opener on my bottles of hooch, which typically have screw caps.
Shut up. Instead, it's called the Draco Dagger.
Oh,
Draconis Maximilian!
Oh, shit.
He got it from his parents. Maybe, wait, he's younger. He's 19, Drax is 42. Is he the son of Drax?
No,
think that-
Drax will never get laid.
yeah,
He
that's
got it
gotta
from
be
his
a pretty
parents.
sad like person to sleep with that.
The blade is slightly curved, along with the handle, and the piece that connects the two is curved on both sides, creating a very nice design. Picture link on my bio for the dagger I've just described.
Okay, I'm gonna go there real quick.
The link's gonna be broken, dude. It's fanfiction.net.
Yeah, well, let's see if he's smart enough to have fixed it. Also, there's no link for it. There's 3 links here, and none of them are for that dagger.
Good. Good
Maybe you
shit.
threw it at somebody and didn't get it back.
It's just
Good
so-
shit, the Boblinator. To make it even better, the reason that there are 2 of them is because each of my parents left me one, so I have 2 of them instead of a single one.
Really? Is that how that works?
Wait, hang on. I take out one of the 2 things most important to me, my dagger. There are 2 reasons it's important. The first is because it's one of the only things I have from my parents. And then a paragraph later, you have another dagger that your parents gave you.
Oh my god, this is
Hey, man, the first rule of writing is there are no rules.
Damn.
this guy just fucking really spent 2
Unlimited dagger
paragraphs.
works.
Like 2 or 3 paragraphs talking about the same shit. Dude, you sure that maybe the guy who wrote the last fic, what was his name? Gabe something?
McKeldry?
Yeah, maybe him and Drax fucked and had some weird baby.
Just repeating himself over and over again.
Yeah.
Super angsty. Has the Draco dagger.
Oh, another thing to note is that these daggers aren't like most of the other Draco daggers. So, I have a dagger that's cooler than normal daggers. But not only that, I have a dagger that's cooler than the cool version of daggers. Christ. They're both the same size, but are larger than the average Draco dagger. Now, the reason for why this is, they never told me. But they're both big enough so that their grips fit in my hand comfortably without myself needing to hold it slightly forward so that I can hold it. What?
What?
Are
What?
you bad
Do
at
most
dagger
daggers not
holding?
fit people's hands?
You know how
Like,
hands
Most
work,
daggers are
dude?
for babies, I guess.
Little babbies.
What is going on? Or do you have giant hands? Like,
I mean, I've got pretty big hands, but I can handle most knives.
oh, and possibly the most important fact. They had no relation whatsoever to Draco Malfoy.
Oh,
You had to put that in
God.
there.
How is that a zinger? He's just like Drax.
Why
like,
would you soil
they're
the
both
fourth
bad
wall?
at zingers, but he still had the kilt.
Oh,
You know?
Och, I be a Hollander nu.
No, it was, but he still had the blanket, and it was like,
Yeah, but think about it. This guy's in Scotland. It's
shit,
it's
yeah.
Drax's dream. Och, I be a Hollander nu.
Yeah.
They could be on the wall.
After a few minutes of twisting it around in my hands, as well as flipping it back and forth with myself, sometimes holding it by the blade, I finally hear a
Dangerous.
sound off in the forest. Hope to God you don't mean a few minutes, dude. Like, get on with things.
You have a guy who's like apparently like a 6 foot tall dude with giant hands, long flowing hair, cobalt eyes, able to jump and run long distances and shit like that, and does like tricks with blades showing like hand-eye coordination. This guy can't get a job.
No, he's too
You know-
cool for jobs.
you know what? I hate to get another in joke because right now this video is like not going to be funny to anyone who's new to the channel, but he should meet up with Staps.
Yeah.
They're 2 knife guys. They get along so well. Oh, Staps is way
This
cooler
guy,
than
you
this
wake
nerd.
up in a completely unfamiliar location that you have no idea how you got here. And the first things you do are you just check random rocks and you sit there playing with your knives.
This guy's 3 years old or something.
Yeah,
Shit.
To be fair, you know, I mean, I said he should hang out with Staps, but I think Staps is way too cool for this
If
guy.
the plot didn't come to this guy, he'd just starve to death. Like, maybe that's why he doesn't have a job, because he can't do anything on his own. Alright. And it's not bird calls. Instead, it was the sound of a horse galloping, its hooves impacting the ground consistently. That's what galloping is, Jesus.
All right, let's hope that he doesn't bone this horse, and he will be too much
Oh
like Drax.
no! Oh no!
Way too much like Drax.
And if I remember correctly, horses don't live in forests.
This guy's zingers, I think Drax's zingers are worse, but this guy has way too many of them.
Yeah, Drax saves the zingers. His flank was blank, you know, like he doesn't bust him out too often. Meanwhile, this guy is like a snarky line for everything. Horses don't live in forests, which means that it must have a rider. With this thought in mind, I quickly place my dagger in one of the 2 sheaths at my waist. Which one? You have 2 daggers. Actually, you have like 15 daggers. Before running in the direction that the horse seems to be heading, hoping to cut off whoever's riding it so that I can talk to them.
You're gonna outrun a horse?
Yeah, because this is a total homeless guy.
Yes. I burst out of the undergrowth to find myself right next to a piece of wood tied to a string and hung on a branch. Piece of wood. Okay. A second later, I register a whistling sound in the air and turn to find an arrow heading straight for my head, with someone on horseback holding a bow a few feet behind it, their arm extended, telling me that they just released the arrow a second beforehand. I'm glad you get to notice all of this while an arrow is bearing down on you.
D-U-H.
Now you can slow down
Of course,
time.
if an arrow's shooting at him, the person who shot it is going to be in the position like they just shot it.
Like, fuck. Like, I get if he, like, sees the arrow, because, like, oh shit, that's an arrow. But, like, I guess time slowed down with his spider senses or whatever, and he was able to analyze the whole scene or whatever.
This guy's the worst Mary Sue ever.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually,
he really is.
Years on the streets had honed my reflexes, so I'm able to react to the situation that I now find myself in fairly quickly. With the arrow 5 feet away, my right hand is already at the dagger on the left side of my waist. 4 feet, and the dagger is unsheathed. 2 feet, and my dagger is heading upwards in an arc. How slow is this arrow?
This is like Fatal. It's like you have to calculate a move for every foot the arrow travels.
Yeah. When the arrow is a foot away, my dagger reaches my target and slices the arrow in half, changing the mass of the arrow and causing the tip to fall slightly. I can't even fucking... Going just past my neck and over my shoulder instead of impacting my eye, which I idly notice is where the bullseye on the target is painted. Dude, you have super speed. Like,
this is so verbose.
I don't want to do the math right now, and I'm not gonna do the math for the video, but like, an arrow, you know, traveling, I'm pretty sure if it's 5 feet away from you, you're fucked. I mean, It's not a bullet, but it's not like a wiffle ball, you know? Like, you're fucked.
He unsheathed the dagger and cut it in half perfectly, so it like went out like on both sides of his head.
Yes.
Oh my god. Seriously?
He didn't even block the thing with the dagger. No, he sliced the arrow in half.
Yeah, because, you know, every like homeless guy in the world has that kind of skill, you know? It's not like they spend most of their time just trying to figure out which trash cans have the best kind of leftovers and everything. It's all because they're all practicing to fight the alien invasion or some shit.
Yeah. If this guy could apply himself, he'd, like, take out, you know, the terrorists.
Because it's Captain America
you see,
the whole
that's
time.
the thing. When you're not working, you know, a 9 to 5, you have time to do... All you have to do to pass the time is hone your sick fighting skills.
Yeah. Wow. Who knew that growing up with a tough life on the streets meant that you were actually able to be a fucking samurai?
Mm-hmm.
Who knew that this dude had the smoothest moves of the whole crew?
Like, seriously, he was just waiting for his old, you know, dojo master to be killed so he could spring into action. Meanwhile, the other half dips down as well and impacts my chest. Luckily, I'd sliced the arrow so that I was hit by a flat piece of wood instead of a metal point that was still traveling really fast.
It's still gonna knock
it
the fucking wind
bounces
out of
off.
you.
Yeah.
Bounces off.
That's not to say
Boing.
that's not to say that I won't get a bruise from the speed that the arrow was originally going, though. I let out a grunt when it impacts, before sheathing my blade and rubbing the area.
Oh.
That's gonna hurt in the morning, I mutter, before another voice speaks up.
God.
Are you ready for the Scottish accents, my lads?
Oh god. Is this me?
Yep.
It's you, my laddie.
Bish, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. A feminine voice
now
called.
there's a proper Scotsman. Pour out a pint of ale for the Scotsman.
A feminine voice calls out. making me turn to look in the direction that it came from and see A, the most beautiful girl I've ever seen, and B, the person who'd shot the arrow. And in case you couldn't tell, they were the same person.
No shit.
I feel like if this guy's life were a movie, he'd be played by Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. or Dane Cook.
No, I feel like Dane Cook. I feel like he's a little too lame for Dane Cook. He's like Ashton Kutcher levels of lame.
She had crystal blue eyes, which are wide with worry and curly, fiery red hair that flowed behind her as she jumped off her horse. She had Caucasian skin, like me.
Uncomfortable.
She wasn't one of the blacks, which positively glowed, and was wearing a green dress that both showed off her figure while at the same time not restricting her movement.
Because I care about women.
Yeah.
I don't want your movement to be restricted when you're flopping your gangzolas for me.
Yeah, but, please make sure to show off your figure, because we totally remember how sexualized the chicken Brave was.
Yeah, like the 15-year-old chicken.
What, showed off her figure that she had 2 arms and legs and, a torso in the middle? Like...
She was vaguely humanoid, and it got to me right where I wanted it.
Yeah. I'd fuck anything with 2 arms and 2 legs and a torso in the middle.
How do you think I got to be homeless?
She also had a bow slung over her shoulder and a quiver full of arrows slung over her back. And one of the most noticeable things about her that I'm going to describe last is that she had a Scottish accent.
A Scottish accent?
Yeah.
If we have any Scottish fans, I apologise.
Turn away right now or you're going to die.
Because this is pretty offensive.
Yeah.
But don't worry, if you're living in town, I'll pour you a pint of ale.
Haggis!
I notice all of this in the time it took for her to jump off her horse and land on the ground. Hey, by growing up on the streets, you learn how to take in small details within seconds. Otherwise, you don't get the chance.
Oh my god.
Wow, this guy's such a douche.
What the fuck?
Where's my mouse? Hey, no harm, no foul. I've had worse happen to me and injure me. I tell her,
pretentious asshole.
Waving my head with a small smirk on my face. Hey, I'd rather not blow up on her in anger at being shot at and have a good first impression instead.
No, man, I went to the Red Pill and they said you've got to nag all the time. Just insult everyone. It's the only way anyone will like you.
Yeah, first impression. I already hate your ass and I don't even know
you. If you were a male, you'd have shot that arrow fast enough that I couldn't block it from 5 feet away. Yeah. After all, how would she know that I was going to walk out of the forest the second she let go of the arrow? That, and it's hard not to smirk or smile on your face in the presence of a beautiful girl.
It's hard not to smirk or smile on your face.
Yeah, instead of...
You mean have a smirk or smile on your face?
Yeah, make sure to smile on your face and not, on your chest.
Yeah, that's kind of hard. Mine always shows up on my chest. My nipples are like eyes and, it kind of, opens its mouth.
You, squeeze your belly and your, your belly button looks like a mouth, kind of.
I do. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The whole time, that's this guy's face.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
She asks me, making my smirk widen slightly at the Scottish accent, as it definitely added to her attractiveness. However, I mentally shake my head to get rid of those thoughts.
Oh my god! Mentally he shrugged! Drax mentally shrugs. This guy mentally shakes. He shrugs.
Yeah. What was Drax like?
Holy crap!
He was like, it was like, I don't know, stupid, sexy Twilight, quick, think unsexy thoughts or whatever.
Mentally he shrugged. He mentally shrugged.
Oh, yeah, he mentally shrugged. Shit.
Telling you, it's him.
Hey, I may have grown up on the streets for a while.
How many times?
But my parents still taught me well before they passed on.
No, they didn't.
They really didn't.
They really didn't.
You're not able to do anything of any kind of, use to society.
You're like a superhero, but you'd rather just spend your time living in cardboard boxes.
You have no practical skills.
Yeah, fucking no Captain America living in a box. Why?
Yeah, he tried to get a retail job, but the first time somebody was like, hey, this is an exact change, he just slashed their fucking throat.
I took in all the details within a few seconds. Their mouth was open as they yelled at me, and I threw a knife right down their throat.
Yeah. I unsheathed one of my 20 knives, and I skewered
As
them.
I did, I threw another knife at a boombox. It hit the play button, and it started to play Indestructible.
Yeah.
My boss walked over. Drax, you can't be killing customers like that. We talked about this last week and the week before that. And that's when I grabbed him by the dick and flung him through the window and got fired.
Just dick tossed him.
Yeah, I managed to split it in half. I mean, you didn't actually shoot two arrows, and I only managed to block one, did you? Do you mean, did I? What? Huh? Even when you brag, you can't do it right. I ask her, turning in a circle and pretending to search my body in hopes of both getting rid of any tension, as well as get on better terms with her as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Drax made Twilight turn around in a circle.
Oh my god. Drax!
He's fucking Drax, dude! He's fucking Drax! It works, as I hear her let out a light giggle. I turn to face her with a small smirk in place.
Oh my gosh, she's just like Drax. She smirks all the time.
If she says, "You're not, then I think I might just die.
No, you're fine.
She tells me, a smile of her own on her face. Well, that's a relief. I'd hate to have lived the past few years dodging knives and daggers, only to get killed by an arrow shot by the first pretty girl that I've seen.
Wait, so does he live in like some weird anime where everyone fights with knives?
Maybe.
Like why does everyone use the same fighting style? It's like an anime sort of thing.
It was Drax a weeaboo too?
Dude, he stayed up all night watching My Little Pony videos.
And drinking himself into a stupor.
Okay, yeah,
that's what it says in the story.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy does live in, like, anime land, though, where you fight or you die. It's an anime. Babies need to kill just to survive.
Yeah, else they die.
Yeah. I tell her, my smirk changing into a wide smile. She simply smirks back at me, but with no sign of a blush anywhere.
Okay, Control F smirk 13 times.
Good.
Wait, is smirk changing into a wide smile? So, in other words, he went from a slight smile to fucking Jeff the Killer.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm sure that would have been horrible.
She says, sarcasm present in her voice, before she gets a quizzical look on her face.
But what kind of life do you live that makes it so you need to avoid weapons?
She asks me. I simply shrug in response. I've been living on the street for a while now. You learn quickly that when you're living that kind of life, you have to watch out for the more unsavory folk. I tell her, making her face change to one of sympathy.
Considering how racist he is, unsavory folk, kind of makes me uncomfortable.
the
That's what she's been talking about, like, Caucasian and everything.
Like, I read between the lines, and I don't like what I saw there.
Yeah.
You've been living on your own.
She asks, getting a nod from me in response. Yeah, my parents died a few years back. I wasn't too keen on going to an orphanage, since from what I've seen, they're not really a nice place to live. I mean, the people running it have to try and keep an eye on all the kids at once, as well as the fact that they can't do that all the time. As well as the fact...
God. Wait, is this a big monologue about something in the human world described very, very poorly? And with a huge bias?
Yeah.
It's a Drax monologue!
Yeah. They hated me for who I was, and then I... fell in with a crowd, but they were even more broken than me, blah, 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 blah. Meaning that for the kids that think they're all that, think that they can get away with putting down the other kids, and sometimes going as far as to get physical. That's not orphanages, dude. That's just growing up. Like, fuck.
I wanna get physical.
And in some places, the adults completely look over it when it happens. That's still just
Drax.
going to public school.
I forgot that this guy's supposed to be like what Michael Daniels, something like that.
Michael Daniels,
but
yeah.
He's just Drax.
He's just Drax. He's just alternate universe Drax.
Mm-hmm.
Drax when he was 19, not fat yet, and had sick knife skills. I comment, disdain clear in my voice when I talk about the less than friendly orphanages that are present where I'm from. We get it. You just mentioned that. You don't have to mention that you just mentioned that. Fucking idiot. Unfortunately, the kids don't talk to the police or anything, for fear of what would happen to them if they did, and an investigation was conducted only to turn up nothing. So this went from a generalization to a specific moment.
What did this dude just have like a Vietnam flashback or something?
This is...
He is. He's not even talking to her
It's like that
anymore.
WikiHow article where it started out, completely non-biased, but then became first person. Oh, note, I'm simply going off the kind that you see in those kinds of movies and books. I am not saying that this happens in all orphanages, so please don't take this the wrong way.
There's no right way to take it, you ass clown.
So, your character revels in the fact that they have a bad opinion. Shit, dude. When I tell the girl about them, she seems to be shocked, as well as angry. Though I can't really blame her for that. Oh, hold on. I just realized that he stopped his speech halfway through the last paragraph, and then continued speaking to the audience.
He's not talking to her anymore, that's what I said.
Well, I mean, in her words, that's not right!
That's not right.
It's not right!
She's not even talking about what he said, she's talking about his grammar.
No. She exclaims, to which I simply shrug in response. Not all orphanages have enough adults to look over the kids. As for the ones that simply ignore it, well, I can't really say much except for the fact that not all people are nice. As shown by the kids at those orphanages who pick on the other ones. Jesus Christ, dude, we get it.
Get it.
I say, though there is sorrow in my voice for the kids who have to go through that stuff.
We get it!
Show don't tell.
Just move on!
The girl standing in front of me continues to seethe before she seems to realize something.
Like she's getting, vicariously furious.
Yeah.
But wait! The closest town is 2 days away! What are you going to all out of your way to do here?
Are you 2 days out as well?
Yeah, I was about to say, she's like, what are you doing all the way here? 2 days
going
from town?
and practicing. You made a target. What?
This is the best place to shoot arrows. 2 days away from the nearest town.
What are you doing out 2 days away?
She asks, making me pause, and I think about what she said before I sigh.
I wrote this shit.
Another monologue.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really know. I went to sleep last night in an alleyway. The normal for me, unfortunately. Before I wake up in a clearing over that way.
Like drinking myself into a stupor.
Yeah, after one too many pony videos.
And he's assuming that she knows anything about this.
Yeah. I say, gesturing towards the clearing in question. She looks over in the direction before turning back to look at me. Yeah, so as far as I know, I was drugged, taken away, and dropped off there for either a reason or to die.
That's a reason.
Yeah.
Leaving someone to die is a reason.
I came here for either a reason or to die. Though why someone would want to kill a nobody like me, I don't really know.
Maybe a nobody with assassin skills.
Maybe because I'm the lost descendant of, I don't know, the Hanamusa clan or some shit at this rate.
Because you're a fucking Highlander.
Why am I, Seriously, this guy is totally one dead master away from being, the white dude who, learns the ninja skills and goes and kills
he's Tom Cruise.
And he's just 12 instances of bestiality away from becoming Drax.
Well, he's already got a horse near him, so that's pretty close.
Yeah, but he doesn't really seem to be paying much attention to it.
Until he turns around, he's just look at that flank.
Yeah. That plot.
I watch Brave for the plot.
Yeah. I admit with a shrug, though on the inside it was a completely different story. Did she say 2 days away? With cars, planes, and trains, she should be able to reach that town in a few hours. Wait, what about those rocks back there that had runes on them? I'm almost certain that a museum would want those in its collection. So the only explanation is... I blanch a little before speaking up again. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. Make white or pale by extracting color, bleach. Right. The cold light blanched her face. Or of a person to grow pale from shock, fear, or a similar emotion.
All right. Say, I start out hesitantly. You said the nearest town was 2 days away, right? I ask her, getting a nod.
That's right!
She responds with a raised eyebrow. No doubt.
But that's not right. That's right.
Has she even noticed his clothing yet? I mean, he's wearing like a, non-fantasy
jeans and a
universe
hoodie.
shit, and it's like,
Yeah.
she doesn't even give a shit.
He's wearing like fucking mercenary clothes in like Scotland.
Yeah.
Hey, would you question a guy who could cut an arrow in half from 5 feet away?
I mean, it's almost like a staple of these stories to be like, whoa, look at how every part of me is weird.
I'm a Mary Sue, and this
Maybe
is the
we'll get
only
there.
interesting thing that's ever happened to me, not the fact that how I got these abilities.
Yeah. Well then, since I've been taken here from there, could you tell me where I am now? I ask her.
Ugh.
Well, right now, you're in the forest.
She says with a smirk, making me give her one of my own in response despite how panicked I am on the inside.
Wake me up inside.
Can't wake up.
But right now, you're just a few minutes away from the castle and my family and clan, the Dunbricks!
Well, also, hey, I almost always have time to appreciate sarcasm, but... no.
Jesus.
She says, just solidifying my thought process when she mentions a castle and her clan.
You know, you could come live there too. I always like to say, home is where you hang your kilt.
Yeah, I always want to say, home is where you are.
Home is where you are, yeah.
Alright,
Home is where you live.
I'm either hallucinating or I've been thrown into the fucking past.
Dun, dun,
The freaking
dun.
lot noise just teleported you to another world.
Damn, either I'm having the best fucking dream of my life or I've been thrown into the fucking past. I think to myself in fear, resignation, confusion, and a bit of curiosity. I went through all 5 stages in about 2 milliseconds.
And bit of curiosity.
Oh, and bit, yeah. Well, I guess that it's already better meeting. I didn't even ask her name. I think to myself before face
You're
palming
not,
myself. Yeah, you're not,
What? Like, I guess it's already better meeting Erida,
Yeah.
I guess?
I'm sorry, but I never really got your name, I tell her, making her look at me in surprise before she lightly blushes in embarrassment.
My name is Merida, and what might yours be?
She asks me, making me give a small smile.
One small smile.
Well, that wasn't an Angst Much thing, but...
Yeah, but this is the in-joke episode.
Yeah,
it's one
dude,
of those. One.
My name's Michael Daniels, I tell her, making me look at her in confusion. My name's Michael
Did I
Daniels.
really just say that?
What the fuck, is that really my name? Oh my god.
Daniels!
She asks, making me rub the back of my neck when I remember that I'm now probably in the past, and Scotland at that, so my last name would most likely sound out of place.
No, my name is actually Michael McGlunty.
Yeah, Mick Daniels.
My family's made ale for many generations.
Yeah.
My name's Haggis McMarysue.
Haggis McMary Sue.
Nice. That's his real name. Haggis
That's
McMarysue, yeah. Yeah. Damn, if only he said yay. I guess that you could tell by my accent that I'm not really from around here. I admit with a sheepish smirk, making her give a smirk of her own. God. As she crosses her arms and leans her hip to the side slightly.
Was it really just 13? Because I feel like they smirked about 100 times.
Yeah, at this
They
point,
smirk
like,
after everything they say.
their faces are just like contorted and
How is it
rickus
only
grins at this
13?
point.
It's amazing.
You're right. Your accent didn't seem like it was from round here.
She tells me, making me give off a sheepish smirk.
Oh my god.
Maybe
God, how many
like they're
smirks?
concentrated in this area.
Just fuck
They
already.
must
Yeah.
be.
Guilty as charged, I admit. See, I'm from America.
Oh.
Living in America.
Heck, that's where I was before I was carted off to here. So for all I know, I was put under constant drugs for weeks, or even months, and they simply had me pumped full of nutrients so that I wouldn't die.
Wait, you still think that this is the present time? You think Scotland is just a place full of people shooting bows and
You
arrows
said
and
you were
castles
now
still?
probably in the past.
Yeah, he said that he was in the past, so how the hell does he just flip back and forth again?
Damn.
He's like, no, I'm actually drugged.
Damn. Most OCs pride themselves on their rationality. This guy's like priding himself on his irrationality. I tell her, knowing full well that it could have been longer if I was sent through motherfucking time. So, oh my god, fine.
Why do you think you think that people who could teleport you through time wouldn't have to keep you drugged and cart you somewhere? They could just teleport you there.
They had to prep you for months so that they could send you back in time.
It's not like it's just going to be an instant thing because, it's time and
The
you're traveling
time
through it.
machine wasn't ready yet, and we gotta get him now. He might totally be dead, like, the next day.
The fact is that we can do it, we can travel through time and make sure, it's a second, but we got to make sure he's nutrient for that second.
Sir, why don't we just come back in time once we get the time machine working to this very point and then send him back in time now?
Because that's too
not
simple,
how
soldier.
It works, Johnson. We live in a land of irrationality.
Are you back talking me,
This
grunt?
is the world we live in,
Yeah.
and these are the hands we're given.
Damn. I mean, there's no way time travel was a thing the night I went to sleep, so I must have been put to sleep for either a few weeks or a few months, maybe even years.
And your clothes are in perfect condition.
Shut up, we don't care why or how it happened.
If that's the case, then what the hell did I miss while I was asleep? This is seriously this guy's only idea this could happen. Then again, I guess it doesn't really matter, seeing as I'm now in the freaking past. I remind myself, you're right, it doesn't matter.
You're from across the ocean!
She yells out with an excited smile on her face.
Wait a
making
minute.
me give a small smile of my own in both joy. How many times is smile in this story, Blake?
America did
As
not
well
exist yet.
As well as relief, as I just remembered that I have no idea what year it is now.
This is before guns were even created. The British didn't even, find America yet.
Only 8 smiles.
How?
The British found America.
How is there only 8 smiles?
It's amazing, it really is.
Yup, I replied, just before she grabs my arm and pulls me towards her horse.
I think you'd really like to meet me horse.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
My horse has a thing for Americans.
That's great! My family would love to meet you!
She says, making me give a smile, despite my
Oh.
panic on the inside.
Oh man, no yay, I just searched.
How the hell am I going to explain anything? I didn't learn anything about this kind of stuff back in school before I went on to live on the streets. I think in a panic before taking a few mental breaths.
Mentally breathed.
Calm down, Michael. Just wing it and see if you can get through this new predicament without too much going wrong. You've done it enough over the past few years, after all, so it shouldn't be too hard. I think you should have that in, quotes or something, dude. Otherwise, it's just, I think, as Merida helps me onto her horse, and we start off at a gallop towards the castle.
Yeah, sure, that's what you were thinking.
Line
Getting on a
break.
horse.
Oh God, was I wrong? I think my panic from earlier returning when I see the castle, as well as the guards patrolling the wall. If I say one thing wrong, I'll be skewered from all sides at once. I think.
Why? For speaking oddly?
The recoil bruised my shoulder.
Hopefully they're not such, harsh rulers that if you even, get the wrong word, they'll just kill you.
I mean, you are traveling with the princess.
Hi, my name is, he said the banned word, kill him! He showed hesitation.
A Drax in King Arthur's court.
Oh, wow. Whew.
Oh, he's a bitch, string him up!
If anyone is down to write their own fanfic of a fanfic, I'd love to see
God.
Drax in different, areas and series.
Well, I mean, what do you think is a better title? A Drax in King Arthur's court or a 42-year-old man in King Arthur's court?
A Drax. Because a 42-year-old man could be a different 42-year-old man. But a Drax in King Arthur's court, that's Drax, dude.
Although this guy is also kind of Drax.
Yeah, but still, a 42-year-old in King Arthur's court, you could get a boring lawyer dude who,
That's true.
Or Stallone or somebody awesome or something.
Yeah, you could get Stallone. Yeah, I mean, you could get the whole gamut. But with a Drax in King Arthur's court, you know what you're getting. I think, casting wary glances at the guards who are looking at the horse as we get closer. That's a nice horse.
It's so close.
There's
It's toying with me.
This is toying with There's a mixture of confusion as well as relief on their faces. The confusion...
Oh, the horse made it okay.
Just like, oh yeah, there's Meredith and her horse, the dirty bitch. You know what she likes to do in the stables.
Yeah. Oh,
That horse.
wow. The confusion is most likely present because I'm with her, while they're also feeling relief because Merida is returning unharmed. Oh, did I forget to mention that she told me on the way back that she's a freaking princess?
Couldn't have just put that in.
At least he doesn't know what Brave is. At least he's not like, holy shit, I fell into my favorite Pixar movie.
Brave.
Yeah, Brave. Toy Story, get that shit out of here. I'm watching Brave. Yeah, I mean, Brave's not a bad movie from what I hear, but it's not like a classic.
Fucking Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Shrek. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. I want to see a story where someone falls into the Shrek universe and is like...
It's not just a troll, it's just serious.
I know this shit in and out, dude.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Yeah. Yeah, just like in the movie. And Shrek's like, what?
You want to see my onion, laddie?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, the girl that has a bow slung over her back and can hit a bullseye from over 20 feet away is a princess. Not your typical Disney princess now, is she?
And then the author's like cutting into Snarkle and his own character.
If only he knew. As we get closer, the gate rises and the two of us ride through the castle walls. Merida directing her horse, Angus, towards the stables.
Horse is Angus.
As we get closer, Merida slows the horse down and jumps off. I quickly take the hint and use my hands to push myself off of him into a backflip, landing perfectly on my feet, much to the astonishment of Merida. He gives her facial expressions anything to go by. You can't even get off a horse without being super cool, dude. Come on.
How did you do that?
She asks me with wide eyes that are filled with shock and awe, making me smirk.
How is it only 13
How is it only 13 tons? Yeah, seriously, oh my god. Well, the area that I was living in had a lot of close spaces, and because of this, we street rats had to learn how to get from one place to another.
By backflipping?
By backflipping, yeah. Yeah,
We backflip everywhere.
When we jump across roofs, we would backflip and front flip. I tell her before leaping up, grabbing a hold of the edge of the roof to the stables and flipping up onto it so that I could lay on my side and continue to look at her.
At least Drax bothered to explain cool things. This guy's about to talk about parkour.
God, Haggis McMary Sue strikes again.
Yeah.
So, what I'm doing here is called free running. Basically, it's a way of getting from point A to point B in the quickest way possible, while adding a bit of flair.
What Wikipedia article do you cut and paste that from?
It's not a way of getting from point A to point B quickly.
I explain, before getting back up and leaping off the roof, spinning as I do so.
I mean, I can't even know. It's the way of getting from point A to point B. Like, he's just as bad at Drax as explaining things. Yeah. You know that moment where it's like, oh man, I'm late for work. Screw my car. I'm going to parkour there, or else I'm going to be late.
Yeah, that's why this guy can't hold down a job. He tries to parkour everywhere.
Like, hey, Michael, can you hand me the fucking, the Coke from over there? He fucking parkours across the store, knocks everything over.
It's like he goes on the Google Maps.
Yeah.
And it's like, let me see. Oh, this is an hour drive, but it's 45 minutes by parkour.
Well, you got me the price check, but you broke basically every beer bottle we had at the store in the process. So, good job. When I hit the ground, I tuck and roll, making sure that I don't take any injury as I stand back up and dust myself off. Because that would be bad, to be injured or hurt in any way. Ta-da! I say with a smirk plastered on my face as I spread my arms out, before taking a mock bow as she claps a bit.
How is it just 13? I feel like I'm going out of my mind. Did I forget how numbers work? There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way it's just 13.
It happens
did
every
they
other write
sentence.
some with a different font and hide them somehow? Thank you. I'll be here all week. At least if I'm allowed to stay, that is. If not, I'm afraid you'll be looking through the towns in an attempt to find me. Very busy schedule after all. I'm really gonna start shit-talking someone after just doing a sick parkour trick and them doing nothing in response. Fuck. Very busy schedule after all, attempting to survive, running from the local authorities so I'm not thrown into orphanages. What can I say? The life of a street rat is a busy one. I joke, getting another giggle from
Long
Mara.
joke.
Bad joke. Bad
Long
joke.
bad joke.
Quit while you're ahead, dude. I'll admit, it's a very nice sound to hear.
Yeah, your own voice, I bet it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's for my parents to decide. Hey, speaking of them, it's almost time for dinner. Come on, I'm sure they'll like to meet you. Turned to fat bastard for a second.
Ugh.
I got lots of ale and bread and meat.
She says, leaving her horse in the stables as she heads towards one of the doors that leads into the castle. I follow close behind, trying to work through my mind how I'm going to get through this without giving anything away, and either being killed for technically lying or thrown out to live in the wild if I end up slipping with the truth and seem like a madman. I don't know, you said the truth to Merida and she's, like, A-okay with it.
Chill. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we get future dwellers every other week. Last time RoboCop came down and tried to ask me out.
Yeah. We walk through a couple hallways in the castle before leads me into what I assume is the kitchen, and Merida grabs a couple apples from the table.
Oh, you know who that was? It was...
Oh yeah, before leads me into what I assume is the kitchen. Wow, they're really getting around.
Yeah, Big Mac, we forgot to tell you, there's a character that seems to show up in a lot of stories named... Because people are constantly being led places or told things by...
Yeah, whoa. I didn't know they got set back in time. That's why we haven't seen in a while.
It's such a great character.
Yeah. And Merida grabs a couple apples from the table, cleaning them off and handing me one while greeting the cooks. I get a few confused looks, but I've gotten used to it by now. Hey, for one I've had practice, and for another I can understand why they would be confused that I'm here. After all, it's not every day that the princess brings in a common street rat to the castle. At least I don't think so.
Yeah. The
Anyways,
irony.
I gratefully take the apple, looking it over and seeing that it's whole.
No shit.
Yeah, the usual food that I eat consists of either food that was thrown out by other people, thus already partially eaten, or the times when I was forced to steal from a vendor.
But you don't
And
steal.
even then, it was more ingredients than actual food, since they only make the food when someone orders something.
He's just eating a bag of flour, just...
Those days of
up?
eating a bag of flour.
Yeah, but you have all the energy and nutrients needed to be the super soldier, right?
And for dessert, a bag of brown sugar. I've been waiting to bust you open.
I did some fucked up things to survive. I took this
eating bags of flour.
I stole a bag of cinnamon. I took the cinnamon challenge every day just to get enough to live.
That's how I toughen myself up.
Yeah. We continue through the kitchen before Merida looks towards one table, glances around, places her apple in her mouth, and then walks over. The whole apple, jeez.
Yeah, she just keeps it there, you know.
I'm surprised the guy isn't like juggling apples and like slashing them in the air to sculpt
And
his
then eating
face
them as
into
they fall.
You know?
Yeah. He like throws it in the air, cuts it in half, and then quickly eats
Like,
both halves.
every time he goes and does something, I'm scared that he's gonna make it as badass as possible.
Like, he throws it in the air, he cuts it in half, he eats with halves, and she's like, did you just eat the pit? And he's like, I didn't. And he like reaches and he's like, it was behind your ears.
Yeah.
Mind freak!
Mind Quaid. I'd already seen the plate of cookies, at least I assumed they were cookies, and I watch as Merida grabs them, making sure to hide the fact that she's taking them from the cooks around. However, I notice a couple glance over and shake their heads with fond smiles on their faces. What? Fine. As we walk away, I swallow another bite of the apple before turning to look
Did you
at
even
her.
take a bite?
You know some of them saw that, right? I ask her, making her swallow her own piece of her apple before frowning. Was it a piece or was it a whole thing?
I can't get away with anything around here.
She exclaims in frustration, making me give off a chuckle.
He's giving off a chuckle.
Yeah, give off a chuckle.
It's just sort of emanating from him.
Yeah, surround sound.
Like a full body chuckle.
Hey, don't think about it too much. You told me you're the princess, right? Well, if you think about it, the princess is one of the most watched people wherever they go. So, it's to be expected that there's always at least one set of eyes on you in case something were to happen. Though, I'm pretty sure that case doesn't apply to your personal quarters, I admit.
He's also a creepy guy.
Also a creepy
guy.
That are uncomfortable.
Fucking creep.
I admit, taking another bite from my apple as she thinks about it.
You're right. No wonder I'm always caught.
You really didn't know that? Like, this was the first time you thought about that? Are you serious? Wait, I am the princess. People are always looking at me. Oh, that makes sense, random guy. Wow. Just like in Angst Much, they can't even have basic fucking character arcs without this guy. Fuck. Me. Bad. Stop. Haggis McMary Sue.
Haggis McMary Sue.
Oh, man.
Haggis McMary Sue and the Tales of the Brain Dead Princess.
Yeah, she exclaims, getting a louder laugh from me after I swallow the bite of apple.
Ha ha ha!
Hey, if I end up staying here for a while, you can just ask me to do that kind of stuff for you. I had to learn how to sneak stuff away while living on the streets. It's not that they'll allow me to get cookies because they allowed you to get cookies. It's that I'm so good at sneaking, I'll steal the cookies for you.
I'll rob your parents blind if you want me to, honey.
What? The cooks didn't even do anything. They just looked at her, smiled, and looked away.
She's already able to, you know.
If I went to shoplift and I was the prince of, the USA. All right, I know that doesn't make any sense. But, if I went to shoplift, and, I just walked out and the security guards looked at me and just smiled and went, yeah, there he goes, and let me go? Yeah, I got away with it. I don't care that they did that. What? Am I really going to be so, fucking pedantic that I wish they just didn't even notice at all? They let me go. I did it. Oh, my God.
Why does that necessitate an accomplice?
I tell her before letting off a sigh. A sigh emanated from around him.
And he doesn't sigh, he lets one off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. 2 degrees of separation. Actually, just 1, but still. And even though it's useful, that doesn't mean I like the way that I had to learn it. I'm gonna make everything about me. Yeah. Yeah, we were having an okay moment, and I'm just gonna talk about my dark past again.
I'm so dark and emo.
Getting a small frown from Merida before we enter the dining hall, and I hear the loud, booming voice of a man talking. Well, looks like dinner started, I think to myself.
And I'm the main course. Oh.
Just before we enter the room, and I get a good look at the people at the table. The one that immediately drew my attention was the man sitting at one end of the table, who was probably Merida's father, and who looked like he could take on about 10 other men with his fists alone.
Wink.
Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Oh.
Maybe an in-joke, maybe a reference, I don't know. I didn't watch Brave.
Well, the character's comically huge. He's gigantic.
Yeah. He was dressed in the stereotypical male Scottish clothes, and had a large mustache the same color as Merida's hair, though a bit darker, so it's not the same color. But, take a shot. Steel Donut drinking game. Take a shot when anyone says anything. Just black out.
Take a shot when everyone is dragged.
Yeah, just black out.
Blackout suddenly.
Yeah, black out suddenly. However, what drew my attention was his left foot, which had been replaced with a wooden peg leg. Not a complete sentence. I winced slightly at the sight. Damn. Wonder what happened to his real foot.
And no quotation marks.
Not a question. To quote, I'm gonna quote Splinter from the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and say, "The question that you ask is not a question."
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wonder what happened to his real foot.
I need a gif of that. The question that you ask is not a question.
Yeah.
Because it ends with a frickin' period.
I wonder on the inside, before looking at the other people sitting at the table. The person sitting at the other end of the table was no doubt Merida's mother, since this seemed to be a family meal. She was wearing a long, emerald green dress and had on a crown atop her brunette hair. Okay. She seemed to be eating her food much like other families, with a fork and knife, as opposed to her husband who was eating a turkey or chicken leg and holding onto the bone as he ripped the meat off with his teeth, as normal families do when they eat chicken wings.
Oh my gosh.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I
Or
always like
chicken
to
legs.
eat, I always like to eat my turkey leg with like a knife.
If
and a
he
fork
was
and
cutting his
chopsticks.
turkey leg with a knife and fork, that would be weird.
You gotta get through the bone. The marrow's the best part. You gotta cut right through the bone. It's so easy if you do it the right way, don't you know?
Straight through the bone, yeah. Then came the last three. From what I could tell from where I was standing, they looked to be triplets and only a few years old. They had hair similar to Merida's, and one was slouched on top of the table as his father was talking. After the 5 seconds it took me to notice all this... Wow, that's slow, dude. Like, that's really slow compared to what you did earlier.
I thought this guy could notice, like, small details in split seconds.
Yeah, but it takes him...
Remember, he noticed, like, a giant paragraph of detail in the time it took for an arrow to travel.
Yeah,
like
but it takes
foot.
him 5 seconds to go, like, big burly man, woman, kids. After the 5 seconds it took me to notice all this, I refocused on everything else and heard the sound of Merida's father talking come back. Merida's father? Okay, bad.
The biggest bear you've ever seen, his hide littered with the weapons of fallen warriors, his face scarred with one dead eye, really real emphasis.
Yeah. He says, and I hold back a laugh when I see another one of the triplets rest his head on the table, as the third mocks his father, trailing a scar shape on his face, while mouthing the same words. Guess this guy tells this story every meal or something, I think to myself in amusement, before he continues his story.
I drew my sword and...
He's cut off as Merida rushes forwards and ends up between the second and third triplets, continuing the story for her father, and making the first triplet fall to the ground in shock when she suddenly appears.
He's dead, Jim.
Yeah. Well, looks like they're twins now.
Whoosh! In one swipe his sword shattered. Then Chomp Dad's leg was clean off. Down the monster's throat it went.
She says, slinking backwards to add effect. Her father looks on when she does this with an upset look on his face. Blue, 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 blue. Blue, 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 blue.
Oh, that's my favorite part. Why is everything I say so italicized?
He complains, but Merida ignores him and continues the story, looking over towards me as she does so. She starts clawing at the air towards me to signal something, which I understand immediately, since I'm so cool and smart and handsome.
I don't.
And give a smirk and a nod as I slink closer to the table. No one...
How is it only 13 times?
It's gotta be more.
How does no one else notice him? No one but Merida noticing me. Hey, you don't think I only learned how to hide from people who were far away. I had to learn to hide from others who were within inches of me.
Because I'm Batman.
Impossible.
Yeah.
That is impopsicle. It's frozen. How stupid you are.
Who has never been seen since, roaming the wilds waiting for his chance for revenge.
She trails off, and I pop up, giving off my imitation of a bear. How would he know what she wanted? He doesn't know her story. If he was like, holy shit, Brave is my favorite movie, I feel like this is a scene in Brave, just like copied word for word. Like, how does he know what she wants?
And how is it that, like, the first thing you do on Mean People is to pretend to be a bear, and that's totally the right impression to make?
Yeah. Oh, God, like, a few paragraphs ago, I was so worried about how to act in front of the royal family, because, you know, they could probably kick me out or kill me or whatever. But now, nah, I'm best friends.
Also, this is some real BS, what he's about to say here.
Yeah. She trails off, and I pop up, giving off my imitation of a bear, which, after which, after living off the streets, yes, that's my reason for everything.
Unfortunately.
You learn how to mimic animal sounds very well in order to either turn away people or send them chasing off in another direction.
No.
Yeah, I'm walking down the street, I hear someone growling. I'm like, oh no,
shit,
a bear
dude.
in the city.
Bullshit.
A werewolf in London.
You know, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. You know, you put your ear to the ground. If you hear hoof prints, you think horse is not zebra. If you hear this man, you think asshole fuckface, not, you know, generic whatever animal.
It's that crazy man who thinks he's an animal and throws knives at people. We better get away.
I don't know where I drew the line. I drew it a long time ago, but I'm going to redraw the line. Dude, no, you did not learn perfectly how to emulate animal sounds. No, you
On the
did not.
streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
He's
so
pretty much just
hard
Duck
living on the
Dynasty.
streets that you gotta spend time learning how to roar like a bear. Where did you live? On the mean streets of the zoo?
Like, did you live on, like, the mean streets of the Canadian countryside?
The
He's Wolverine
Savannah
now,
Desert? Like, dude, come on. Come on, bros. Be serious now. Come on. Stop, bro. Come on, stop. Be serious. You don't really mean this shit, do you?
And look at this Ugu roar that he has. It's got little tildes on the other side of it.
Let's see. Roar! I exclaim, waving my hands wildly while bending my fingers to make them look like claws. My bear-like roar makes everyone sitting at the table jump a foot in the air, which to me was quite an accomplishment with Merida's father's size, as me and Merida start to laugh in amusement. Aw man, thanks for that, Merida. I thank her, wiping a few tears from my eyes as I do so because it was so fucking funny.
Oh, assassin, where are the guards? Kill this man.
Yeah, guards, kill this man. Yeah, seriously, like, fuck, dude.
It's like in the movie, like, her father's seriously, like, 15 feet tall. He's, like, comically huge.
Some guy just jumps up around the royal family and you just accept it.
He should be able to just pick up this like, street rat, squeeze him.
And he'll
Just
pop.
squeeze him.
He'll just pop.
Maybe that's why
Yes,
there's no
do
chapter
that.
2.
He'll burst like a plum.
Yeah, the last sentences, and then I fucking died.
Merida, who is this?
Merida's mother
Not even
exclaims while the triplets glare at me, though I notice the amusement that's present in their eyes. Meanwhile, her father is looking at me as if I had two heads. Then again, I did suddenly show up roaring like a bear to go along with his story, so I guess that's to be expected. I am also dressed in combat boots,
Uh-huh.
and ripped blue jeans, and a black shirt, and a green jacket that's exactly like my black shirt.
But it's green.
Mom, Dad, this is Michael Daniels.
She tells them, walking over to stand next to me as I give them a shit-eating grin and wave.
You mean the one you've had on your face the whole fucking time?
Yeah. I've never not had this, except for when I get all dark about my past.
Right before his mom was, like, shot, she was like, you know, if you make that face, it'll stay like that forever.
Yeah. And then he did. Yellow. Mellow yellow. I greet them, both loving the reaction that I'm getting, as well as nervous from it. Aw man, I hope this goes good.
You already fucked up.
Hoping that I won't immediately be thrown out of the castle.
You mean like you should have been?
Dude, seriously, come on, man. Like, don't do this I know we're at the end of this. Don't fucking do this to me, bro. Like, you aren't serious right now, are you? Like, come on, dude. Then again, my status as a peasant won't really help me with that. I think in regret. Coming here into the middle of the castle of royalty as a peasant? Yeah, not one of my greatest ideas.
Yeah, bet time.
Yeah, bad fucking time.
Writing this shit was the first bad idea.
Yeah, and that's where the chapter ends. But
And
we
the
have
story ends.
Author's Note Part 2. Well, guys, here's the first chapter to yet another one of my new stories. Now, for all of you yelling at me about the whole peasant and royalty thing that I touched on at the end there, and how Michael shouldn't even be in the castle, I'll get to that next chapter, which is never. I'll give you a hint. It has to do with what shall follow this prologue, and the idea that was given to me by Spartan626. That's not a hint. Your hint was, read the next chapter and it'll be explained there. That's not a hint.
To be fair,
you didn't hint at
to be fair,
anything.
there is a chapter 2.
There is?
On the rewrite of the story. The story was so good he decided to rewrite it.
Oh, shit.
Go to his profile, yeah, but I'm just a regular guy. Scotland, Witches, and Bears, oh my.
No.
Chapter 2 starts 1 year later, and we're not going to read it.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
If you leave this draft up as a public thing that people can read, this is what people may read and judge your writing as. So we're going to read this and riff this because you have it up publicly.
Oh.
If you
Also,
if you thought it was so bad that you needed to rewrite it, take it down.
actually, the first one is even more like Drax because he actually has a house.
Oh.
Instead of waking up in my comfortable bed, I woke up in the middle of a clearing with a forest surrounding it on all sides.
Wait a second. So living in a cardboard box was too much? You know, it was too stupid?
So it's worn down black boots, blue jeans, as well as black belt holding them up, dark green t-shirt, and silver colored wristwatch. Oh, he lost the jacket. Now the shirt is dark green instead of black.
Oh, well, so there's more of the author's note at the end of this, I guess original version, but I mean, there it is. We have some reviews, though, so let's check those out. Let's see, reviews. Anime PJ says, "You keep coming out with such good stuff.
Oh.
Damn it, you've got me interested again. I really want to see where this is going. Can't wait for the next update."
Wrong.
Wrong!
Akira Himura says, "I honestly can't wait for more of this story along with others, although a fan idea did pop into my head. What if this universe and the HTTYD universe were one the same? The time period is slightly different, but you put the dragons off as Burke wasn't well known to the outside world. Honestly, just see it happen. Good story and keep writing."
Keep going, Boblinator. Can't wait till you continue, buddy. And nice references there. Nice touch.
Yeah, everybody seems to like it. They got bad taste.
Yeah, nobody doesn't like it. Like, well, I guess Aiden Rogers and Aiden are the same person, but nobody doesn't.
Oh, by the way, in case you thought that maybe the rewrite was better and we were being unfair by going back to read the original version, his name changes to Michael Daniels Kirigaya.
Really?
Oh my god.
Are you shitting me?
He's just a fucking anime. Like, he's just a long lost descendant of a ninja clan.
And he's actually from Japan in that
Oh
one.
my
So,
god, are you serious?
so if anything, it got worse.
Fuck.
No.
I guess if we get overwhelming comments, we can do the redo.
Does that mean that we read the
you can
good
have
version?
The sequel. We read the good original version, and here we have like the really awful George Lucas retouched ones that added Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, God. I feel like one of my organs just burst.
He did the rewrite like a month after he did the first one.
He really did.
Who told him to rewrite it? Everyone thought it was good.
He just read it himself. He's like, it's not anime enough.
Yes.
He added a second chapter, and then he still didn't finish it. So maybe he's going to do a third rewrite and add a third chapter.
Yeah.
He feels he can't add a new chapter without
That's how it
rewriting
works.
the previous
That's how
ones.
it works. If you want to write a new chapter, you have to restart your story.
Rewrite the previous chapters.
Alright, anyways, that was But I'm Just a Regular Guy, Scotland and Witches and Bears Oh My, the first version 1.0. I'd like to thank you all for listening, and I'd like to thank Big Mac for sitting in on this and joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Once again, he is from the Nerd Rage Network channel and group of other channels, and we will have links in the description. Go check him out.
And don't forget that this guy's stories are all the exact same. So if you enjoyed reading that, go read any of the others.
Yeah. We also have links in the description for our public Amino group and our public Discord server. So if you want to chat with us or with fellow fans of the Steel Donut, then we look forward to seeing you there. And once again, thanks for watching.